Chris Young, when others hear that name, what are the qualities that you hear from other people? What are the qualities they say about Chris Young, that name?
Well, I mean, initially, I like to think the first thing is I'm a stand-up guy. You know, everyone's not going to like you, and it took a while for me to understand that, but as far as being honest and open and true to the game, excuse me, that's what I hope people get from me. Like, when you see me walking the gym, you're like, oh, that's the dude, XYZ, whatever I've done, but it's a good guy. Basketball has always been a big part of my family. My cousins, my uncles, my brother's father. I think me and my father played basketball, so it was always a big part. So, and then when I was in junior high school, I went to a really popular high school that had a lot of basketball athletes, and I was like, So all my friends played basketball, and I loved the sport. I used to collect the cards, and I just kept plugging at it, and I got, I started to see perks from it. I started to see, girls start liking you. You get shoes, you get to travel, and I was just like, no, I want to do this. I don't know. So I don't know if it was one day or it was gradually, but just by ninth grade, I was hooked.
It wasn't all about the perks from playing ball for Chris Young that helped him expand his love for the game, but rather the lessons and philosophies he was able to learn from playing the sport.
Basketball has taught me these principles: show up on time, work hard, and at the end of the day, you can do all those things aren't promised to you. So when I did take a little time to try to get into the world of Hollywood, when you go on auditions for commercials or photo shoots, 9 times out of 10 you're going to hear no. So me growing up as a basketball player, I wasn't tall, I wasn't athletic, so I heard no a lot. But I pursued the dream of wanting to play basketball. I wanted to play basketball. So if they said no, I went there. They said no, someone eventually said yes. So that's the same mentality I take when I go into my life or when I'm teaching kids.
Overcoming the word no and battling adversity was not uncommon for Young, as he has always had to prove why he deserved a spot. He initially didn't make his AU basketball team growing up and was reminded of that similar feeling when he was undrafted in slam ball and had to earn a spot on a roster.
And slam ball didn't come easy. I was undrafted. I almost didn't even play because they thought I wasn't good enough because I couldn't understand how the trampolines, and it just wasn't clicking for me. So after I didn't get drafted, I felt that sting, how I felt in high school when I didn't play much, and I felt like I was going to miss out on something.
Yeah.
Just being a part of it, just having a uniform just wasn't good enough. So literally, like the next day of practice, I got it, and then it was over. And
Yeah, how was that transition from playing regular ball?
It was tough. For me, it was tough. I almost have made the team. I couldn't get it. I was frustrated, but I wasn't going to quit, and I wasn't going to let them cut me. So, I don't know. I keep looking at the rim, but it was just a little gut check.
Yeah.
And I went home after I get drafted, felt real embarrassed, laid in my bed and was like, no, I can do this.
Slam balls where Young elevated his game to new heights as he became an all-star player, creating new records in a newly established league. He was also able to showcase his athleticism and prove to the world why he deserved his nickname.
Ghetto Bird has taken flight, the beam shining down on the hood below.
For first, if you're not from LA, you hear the nickname and you're like, what does that mean? But if you're from LA, you know what a Ghetto Bird is. You know that's the police helicopter. You know once you commit a crime, if that bird is on you, you cooked.
Yeah.
So one day me and George was outside just, joking and talking. Me and George are the same age, and we were talking and came in at the same time to Drew. And we were like saying a few nicknames, and I gave him a nickname. And you can't really give yourself a nickname. And he was like, He's like, I'll come up with something. And then he's called me the Ghetto Bird. And of course I'm an Ice Cube fan. Of course I'm from LA, so I know what it is. And I was like, I'm rolling with that. And to this day, my basketball experiences, I'm still blown away from it. I'm still blown away by what has happened or what it has done for my life. And there's a lot more to go. But meeting Michael Jordan for a long time, like when I first met him, kind of clicked right away. I don't know why. He talks a lot of shit. I talk shit. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But that one night where after the camp was closing up, it was 10 o'clock or so, and we were all leaving. And he getting to run his mouth, I'm running my mouth, and we were doing a few dunks, and then the video starts with me missing a dunk and him doing a dunk. We had been dunking before that, and then if you watch the video,
show him some of the Ghetto Bird talents.
Yeah, I was trying to show him. 10 o'clock at night, legs wasn't really all the way to work, but he said something slick, I said something slick, and then we decided to play one-on-one. And in the video, some editors have it. He went 4 for 5 or 3 for 4. He missed one. You know, I'll take that.
Yeah.
But half the time, this might have been, so our relationship, that might have been, I might have known him 5 years. I've known him 10 years now. I might have known him 5 years time. So then it was still really new to just be around Michael Jordan. So half the time, I'm at fantasy camp. I don't. He can make all the shots. I don't care. I'm playing basketball with Michael Jordan, one-on-one with Michael Jordan, and I always tell people that was the last time people saw him play basketball before he went to the Hall of Fame. So I'm the last person to play basketball with Michael Jordan on film before he was inducted to the Hall of Fame. So like my kids, that's gonna be pretty cool for my kids. So like, you know, he got me, but I tell you all the time, it wasn't like that was Randy Brown. That was Michael Jordan or Pete Myers. Whoever replaced Michael Jordan when the Bulls were retired, it wasn't that man. He was the best player they ever played. Globe, you know, all over the world. That's Michael Jordan. So.
And you made him miss one shot.
He missed one. He wouldn't play defense on me.
Young's involvement in basketball not only led him to playing one-on-one with the greatest legend of all time, but it steered him into organizing a game where current greats faced off against each other. He was one of the orchestrators of the Drew versus Goodman League, which starred over 20 NBA players during the NBA lockout season. It was the LA League versus the Washington DC League. The players were able to showcase their talents against one another in front of a huge audience in Long Beach, California, with the winner taking home bragging rights. This was all able to happen because of an idea that later turned into reality that Young was able to help put together for the LA basketball community. However, that wouldn't be the only successful event Young brought to his city, as he took pro-am basketball to a whole new level in 2015.
The work that I've done with Jordan, Nike, and the Drew League and other things, Baller was just was like the prize of that. That was like my graduation. Now we've seen you run little things here, now let's see if you could run this big tournament for a lot of money on ESPN2, you know, a national network. So when I first got the job, it was intimidating. I'm not gonna lie, it was intimidating getting the teams, the players, the location, making sure it was ran well. And I was honored that Ball Up chose me out of this big city of basketball players and basketball people that run stuff to the first ever. Like that's gonna, whether it's around 10 years or it's around 2 more years, the first time it's ever been done, that much money given to amateur athletes, which humbled me even more because I was once that athlete. I was once that guy in the Drew League hoping to get an overseas gig, or I was once that guy hoping to play basketball somewhere for money. And to bring this groundbreaking league where guys can actually take home some physical cash from their hard work in the summer, that just doesn't happen. You know, it's the one-day tournament or a weekend tournament, but you know, the winning team from New York, too bad LA didn't pull it off. They took home $500,000. You know, that's plus the $50,000 they won in the city. So guys went home or throughout the rest of the year with $55,000 checks. So. You know, that's not nothing to sneeze at. I mean, dudes out here playing basketball in all these leagues for free, or some people pay to go overseas to say they play overseas. So to give guys that I can relate another opportunity to pursue their dreams and maybe make some cash or be on ESPN, I mean, it's a win-win all the way around. So to say I was the guy to bring that to my city, the place I love more than anything, you know, I love my city, was a big honor. It was above all, it was just a huge honor.
Los Angeles, which is a city known for its high-rise buildings, fashion, freeway traffic, and bright lights, Chris Young has been able to shift that light towards basketball, helping Los Angeles become the mecca for basketball, where pro stars, pro amateurs, and up-and-coming stars can practice and continue to expand their skills as they pursue a career in basketball.
This is actually where I used to work at. So I used to work here, so I used to be in this gym all the time, and this gym has always been empty. This is also the neighborhood where I grew up at.
Oh, really?
And this has only been here 10 years. And when I was working here, and I was like, we have the best 2 gyms. You know, we have a gym over there in the city, and no one knows about it. So my goal is, and I think I've done a pretty good job at it, is to bring as much talent from youth to adults in here. I want this to become the most happening spot. Like if you want to prove your game as a little kid or as an adult, you have to come to the Expo Center and prove yourself. You know, it's a beautiful facility. You can't get any better than this in Los Angeles. And since this is my neighborhood, I want my neighborhood to have pride in knowing that they have had the best of best. And the only person I think hasn't been here is Kobe and LeBron.
The best of the best indeed. Young hosts Air West an invite-only open gym for a variety of athletes, those including Paul George, D'Angelo Russell, Kevin Durant, and many others who are just trying to prove that they got game. Young hosts these open gyms at the Expo Center just so that all these different athletes can compete at a high level at a nearby gym and show their passion for the game as they show off their skills against one another.
For the most part, all the other kids that are playing sports are kind of like me. I wasn't tall, didn't get over 6 foot until probably 17, didn't start jumping the rim until like 17 and a half, 19 is when I really started feeling I could really do dunk on anybody.
Yeah.
So when I talk to these kids, I talk to them from a place of I've been there, and I'm honest with them. I'm not sitting up here telling them, because I could tell a whole lot of lies. Because I'm not in the YouTube era and I'm not in the Google era. So if I told people for where I am now and the people that mess with me, I could tell people I was a high school All-American. I could tell them All-City. I could tell them I've been dunking since I was 14 if I wanted to. But that's not the truth. That's not a true character. I mean, these kids are lied to too many times from their parents to their coaches to the AAU coaches. So I like to give them a breath of fresh air. A lot of them want to hear it. So when I'm talking to them, like, yo, right now you might not be the best player in the high school team, but you can't quit. You got to work on things that'll make you a better player, make you a better person. So I think that's my biggest attribute to this whole thing is I was once the guy doing this the whole time watching games. And I watched how the star either accepted it or was a jerk about it and didn't really appreciate it, as I say. So what I'm telling these kids is I've been the best player on my team, I've been the last player on my team. And so I give you both spectrums of if you're the best player, you still got to work hard and be humble. And if you're not the best player, then you got to work hard and stay at it, stay persistent and see where the chips may fall. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Like, I'm telling you, the people that knew me when I was younger, they know, like, never a bad guy, but just wasn't the best basketball player. That's cool. I wasn't. But I got pretty good. And I've let that transition me to other things with basketball. It's rewarding and just being around young men and having a good time and just teaching life skills and some basketball.
Young really enjoys hosting open gym events for adults, hosting clinics for young teenagers, as well as different Air Jordan events for these young teenagers. He enjoys all of this because he's able to make a difference in molding LA basketball into a unified community. A community where competitors become friends, friends become family, teammates become brothers. He ultimately wants the LA community to be known as a top basketball community in the nation, not just for the sport, but a community that uses the sport to bring so many people together.